Drama has a long tradition in the West Clare communities of Cooraclare and Cree. In Cooraclare, Tom McNamara produced an annual play for many years. Meanwhile, Cree had a very active drama group led by Michael Miescall, the grandfather of the now well-known actor Paul Mescal. You may have heard of him. After a brief revival in the early 2010s, the group reformed again in 2024 and has been bringing comedy productions back to local stages. This year they're performing at Wake in the West, a play that captures the familiar humour and chaos of a traditional Irish wake. And joining me now to tell us more is performer Gerard Kelly. Gerard, thanks for being with us on Morning Focus.
Thanks for having us on. Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yeah, look, there's clearly a long tradition of drama in Cooraclare and Cree. Times when it has been active, times when it's been less so. You must be delighted, given the long history that's there, to see the revival in recent years. What has prompted the latest revival?
It's hard to know, really. We tried to get going again in around 2012, 13, 14, around that time, and we had a play already the year COVID struck, and we were actually putting up the stage in Dunbeg when we were told, "Sorry, nothing happening tonight." And then we kind of fell by the wayside for a couple of years, but then we came back again 2 or 3 years ago, and we seem to have gone from strength to strength then. We mainly concentrate on comedies, light-hearted, hilarious type plays, because there's enough of sadness in the world and enough of problems, and we like to have people leaving the show with a smile on their face, which I think they have achieved so far, if we can believe what we're being told.
And I'm sure you're being told the truth, and particularly when you focus on comedies, putting a smile on people's faces, and to that end you perform the likes of The Maiden Aunt and Anyone Can Rob a Bank. And when you hear the title Awake in the West, you think, oh God, awake, it's not going to be funny, but as I've touched on, it really gets at the humour of Irish wakes. Can you tell us a little bit more about this particular production?
Well, the hero of the play is the corpse on stage, who has to remain motionless for an hour and a half, and it was very difficult during practice because it is a funny play, and he couldn't stop laughing while we were rehearsing. But he does very well on stage, and we have a very difficult woman then who feels she needs a new set of false teeth, and what better place than from the dead man?
Oh God!
Seemingly, it happened a lot in the old days that false teeth were shared around and were rarely buried. They were usually passed on from one to another. So,
God, yeah. That doesn't even bear thinking about, Gerard, does it? Particularly this close to lunchtime as well.
Absolutely disgusting, but
yeah.
it's very funny the way it works out.
Yeah, I tell you, that sounds like even just hearing that brief synopsis would encourage people to head along. And I suppose key to this is your producer as well, Sean Dunleavy, who has a long association with the Kilrush players, who we've spoken to before. What has his experience brought to the production? And indeed, tell us about the level of experience amongst the 9 involved in this year's cast.
Well, Sean is fantastic. I mean, Sean has been producing plays for the last 40 years, I suppose, and has won many of Lords in all over, in festivals in Dunbeg and in Scariff or whatever. He's a tremendous man to spot something on stage and say, look, maybe if we did it a little bit different and it would be funnier. And that happens almost every night, that there's something new. And we have the greatest of respect for him, and he really brings the best out in people. And we're lucky to have quite an experienced group at this stage, even though we haven't done that many plays. We have the famous Rob Hopkins, whom everybody knows from Kilkee area, Mayasta, and his friend Adrian McCluskey, also from Kilkee. So for that reason, we're performing in Kilkee on Wednesday and Thursday of next week. We have Mick Daly from Killarney, who used to play with the Kilrush players, and he is a corpse who, as I say, remains absolutely still for about an hour and a half, which is very, very difficult. We have Anne Tuberty, Margaret Gary, who both featured in Tom McNamara's time way back. We have a new player on the stage, TJ Malai, who was delighted to be performing. We have Orla Murphy, who performed actually with Mullock players and is with us for the last few years. And we have Helen, my wife, and myself for our sins, who are bringing up the rear. So we've been performing with the players for quite a while.
Very good. And speaking of performing, we did chat about the West Clare Drama Festival last week on the show, and you were one of the Clare contingent. You performed Awake in the West there on Tuesday gone. Presumably went down well?
Well, it went down exceptionally well. You see, people enter competition now to win prizes most of the time, and to get to the very top you need to feature plays which are in many cases heavy and disturbing, featuring problems from life and the world. So ours was the only comedy in Doonbeg, and we have no interest in prizes. We just want to give the people a laugh and, as I say, have them coming home with a smile on their face. And for that reason, our play went down very, very well on Tuesday night, and we're getting a lot of plaudits since, saying that it was really enjoyable.
That's great to hear. So, look, where else can people check out you performing Awake in the West?
Yeah, well, our last night at home in Cooraclare is next Monday night, and we are hoping for a good crowd. Lots of people didn't get in to Doonbeg because it was booked out, so we're hoping those people will come to see us in Cooraclare.
Okay, what time do doors open?
That's Monday night. The doors open at 7 and the play starts at 8 on Monday. There's no need to book for Cooraclare because we have a big hall with loads of room. Whereas the Sweeney Memorial Library in Kilkee is our venue Wednesday and Thursday, and you need to book for that at the website is clarearts.ie.
Okay.
clarearts.ie.
Well, look, it sounds promising. It sounds like, and particularly as you say, the way the world is at the moment and the weather, we could all do with a good laugh. So make sure you head along to check out the group doing Awake in the West. Gerard, pleasure having you on, and hope your performances and the rest of the gang are as rapturously received as it sounds like you were at the West Clare Drama Festival. Thanks for joining us on the show.
Thanks very much for your time.